Justin Herbert, what have been your impressions of him as a quarterback?
What's been the impression?
Your impressions of him as a quarterback, what you've seen on film, what you've seen in your studies.
Yeah, talented young quarterback. Got all the different tools that you look for. He's got mobility. He's got arm strength. He's clearly a good decision maker. All those things. He can really throw the football. So he's a good football player.
Why, as a rookie, he was very good on third down. Why do you think that is?
He's got some good receivers. Get open. He's accurate. Throws the ball. A guy like Keenan Allen, tremendous football player, great route runner, very dependable, tough. So I think having guys like that helps. But he's accurate. Throws the ball well, makes good decisions. So I thought they did a good job last year, and obviously they changed systems. It'll change a little bit for him, but he still has a lot of the weapons that he used before, and so anyway, we're preparing accordingly.
With Jamin Davis having gone through the preseason and now a week of prep for this game, how comfortable are you with where he's at?
I like where Jamin is. He's got work to do, like we all do, but he's had a real solid camp for us.
And another rookie who you'll probably depend on a good amount, Benjamin St. Juste. How's he looking to you as well?
Yeah, similar. I think those guys have come in from day one. They've been very mature about going about their business and working at it. We just asked them to, just like we did last year. We had some guys last year that were new to us. We asked those guys to come in and learn our system and some of the fundamentals that we teach, principles we play with, and then go out and compete and have fun. And those guys are going to be good players for us for a number of years. But I think the way they've approached it at the start has been what you look for.
I'm assuming that maturity for rookies is not commonplace all over. Is that a quality you guys are specifically targeting in the players you draft?
I suppose. I mean, you don't really know until you get the players here. So, but we feel like we got them right, and they are who we thought they would be when we selected them. So that's a good thing.
Jack, last year you said that you guys, started off a little bit slow, but eventually started to hit your stride. Part of that was learning the system. How do you feel like this season you guys can start off a little bit faster now that guys have had a season in your system?
Yeah, I think starting fast is important. Obviously, it's an emphasis point. I look at, as we went through the year, I thought we improved throughout the year. We want to do the same thing this year. We just want to start a little faster. And but we want to continue to improve as we go throughout the year. And so, having had the year that we did last year together, having had camp and an off season, all of the things that we were never looking for an alibi last year, but the reality is we feel like we're further ahead in the development, in the cohesiveness, in the understanding of what we're doing, how we're doing it. So that's the good part. And then you look at the gauntlet of quarterbacks that we're going to face and all of that, and you recognize you better be on top of things. So we've got a lot of opportunities to compete against the very best this league has to offer. We're looking forward to it starting this week.
Well, now speaking to that, then you mentioned the quarterbacks that you have on your schedule for you as a defensive coordinator and for your group as well too. What is that? What is your? I guess I want to say excitement level. I want to assume for you, but basically when you see that,
I can't.
I'm sorry.
I'm not hearing you. Because your mask, you're doing good, but I can't hear you.
I'm trying to keep you guys safe over here. Let's face it. So when you mention the quarterbacks that you guys have on your schedule, you mentioned the gauntlet. Obviously, there are a lot of good tests for you all. What is it like for you as a defensive coordinator when you say, this is really going to show us some things about ourselves? How do you kind of look at that?
Well, it's just a challenge. It's a challenge. I mean, there are backs, receivers. There's talent every week. The league is full of talented players and coaches preparing to compete with you. So I look forward to the opportunity to compete against the very best, and we're certainly going to see that as we go throughout the schedule. We take them 1 week at a time, and my approach has always been, fear nobody, but respect them. And so we're starting out this week against a guy that's a really good player, good football team, and looking forward to having them here at home.
You guys have the Chargers have a whole revamped offensive line. You know, what is it like preparing for a team having never seen the offensive line play together, and especially having a rookie left tackle? What is that like, and what do you expect out of your defensive line?
Yeah, they did a really remarkable job, if you look at it, of changing the whole complexion of their offensive line. So what was a weakness last year, at least, you know, on the board, they've added some really good players. So, you know, it was a credit to their moves in the offseason to attack an area of need. You got a talented young quarterback, and you just surrounded him with a lot better protection and the ability to move people and run the ball. So that's part of the challenge of what we've got to battle. But we recognize where they've significantly upgraded that offensive line.
Jack, besides the obvious stats of points and yards and things like that, what are some of the yardsticks that you're going to use this year to determine whether your team is progressing defensively, how they're getting better, what they're building on, and what they still need to work on?
For us and how we look at it, yeah, we have a production chart, that we monitor that weekly, and we have our expectations up there. So, without getting into specifics, I just tell you that we have a standard and things that we're expecting, and we don't like adjust them down because we're playing good people. So, we're looking forward to the challenges that are in front of us. We've got a good group, and we've worked hard to prepare, and we're ready to go.
With this new preseason, with this new preseason schedule, you guys have the extra off week and then some mandated off days. I was just wondering about the contrast between, obviously, when you were a player, that would have never happened, of course. But how you make sure you get the work done you need to get done while also balancing the rest as well.
Yeah, I think there have been some things that are mandated now. Other teams were doing some of that before it was made mandatory throughout the league. But, you manage that part of it. The approaching the opener with the right mix of conditioning and health and all the things that you need, yet being prepared and ready to come out sharp in week one. I mean, that's what us coaches worry about and work on, So Coach Rivera put together a plan. We've been executing that plan, and as I said, we're looking forward to getting started this Sunday.
And then along those lines, the Chargers didn't play any of their offensive guys in the preseason, the starters. Mm-hmm. What does that do for you? Is that something you guys discussed at all, going down that road?
We again had our approach. They had theirs. At this point, all of that kind of goes out the window, right? I mean, nobody's really going to care after today or after Sunday. It's going to be about what you're doing during the season. So I think, we've had a really good camp coming out of camp, healthy and prepared. And so here we go.
Got another question kind of related to your playing days. Like, you as a linebacker know what it's like to be young and kind of grow into your role. I'm wondering, for someone like Jamin Davis, is it easier or harder nowadays to pick up the pace? Because I guess you have more film and stuff like that to manage at your fingertips, but maybe you have less reps too. So you think it's harder or easier for a linebacker to kind of grow as the season goes along?
I don't know that I would try and put it in an easier or harder basket. I think, to me, the way I look at it, you come in, you work, you receive the coaching, you apply what you're being taught with fundamentals and principles of how we play and do things, and learn the system, learn your playbook, and then get to a point. At some point you get where you're not thinking so much, you're playing on instincts, and that's when the best that you have to give really comes out. So for us, that's what we're working towards with all of our players, at all positions. And even a former linebacker can recognize the corners, the safeties, the DNs, the D-tackle. Everybody needs to be working at that to be prepared to go. So I think that's the way we've attacked it, is understanding the body of work that needs to be, basically what needs to be accomplished, and then having a plan to attack it, and we've done that.
Is there a point like in last season where you really noticed that? Like, was everyone clicking like just on instincts, or are you basically like thinking all the time? Like, can you actually play with?
It never stops. So I think like the biggest contrast that I could give you right now is our first walkthrough was absolutely unacceptable, unprofessional, like whoa. And so we started, and just a walkthrough. I was talking about a walkthrough. And so we learned how valuable those walkthroughs are, how much we put an emphasis on, the execution during those walkthroughs. And even though we're taking it easy on your body, we have to work our mind in order to get our looks and to increase our ability to communicate and all those things. So if you look at where that was last year, to where we are now, it's night and day.
Right, so that walkthrough is for last year's team.
Yeah, correct. No, we didn't start. We didn't go back. Thank God we didn't go back. So, no, but we've learned those things, and I think that's part of what you're excited about in year two is that we have a year. We've put a lot of work in, and now it's kind of player led. Hustling on and off the field, little things. It's like they're policing themselves. They're leading themselves, and that's what you really want.
How long did it take you as a linebacker to go from less thinking, more reacting?
I don't know. I mean, we have, as former players, I mean, we can make it as good as we want, man. Like, I didn't make any mistakes. What are you talking about? No, it's there's growth in it. So for all of us, it's and no matter how long you play, there's always, when you're getting started again, there's knocking off the rust and applying your stuff. So I just think there does come a time when everything slows down, and part of it is just getting reps, getting exposure, getting reps, getting experience. And I talk to our young guys all the time, that something will happen, and it's like, don't beat yourself up over that. Just learn from that experience, because it won't be the last time. That's going to happen again, and file it away and respond, the way you should, and just encourage that way.
Maybe in the same vein, how have you seen Chase Young improve as a situational awareness as a pass rusher?
Yeah, I think he came in with a pretty solid toolbox, but I think Chase has taken it to another level. And I think the practice and the understanding of how people are going to try and protect him and against him, and some of the things he's going to need to do to counter that, I think he's increased that awareness. So he's a pretty aware cat. I mean, Chase is on top of things. So he's been from day one. He's been a guy that gets it. Gets the overall picture and how things tie together.
Cole Holcomb, did he come in improved from last season, you think? And what have you seen out of him during camp or preseason?
Love where Cole is. He's really a good football player. I think he's underrated by a lot of people that aren't here in this building. We love where he is. He's grown, from what we saw flashes before we got here to last year, from the beginning of the year to the end, and the improvement he made and the confidence that he's gained. I think right now, he's ready to have an outstanding year for us. I think he's a really good football player.
Fuller, what does his versatility do for you as a play caller? And have you had any players that are similar to him?
Yeah, Kendall's a rare combination of good athlete and really bright, and he's able to do different things, play different positions. But his overall understanding of how offenses are trying to attack us and where he needs to be, he's got a good sense of that. So good instincts, very smart. He's a good player. Glad we have him. Thanks, guys. All right, appreciate it. All right.